Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, before we begin, we like to give all praise, all glory, all honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Recha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great men, so who surely do rule well. As always, we have to sing Shalom to the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
There's a couple of your brothers here from the house of Yahushai. I'm the brother
Hanana.
and I'm the brother Isaiah. We're coming back to you with another video, Lord. Well, it be edifying to the Lord's elect. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Right, we wanted to get into today, word of the day, May 26, 2026, right? It would have been 6 days ago by now, right? But we're still going to touch on it, right? Because it's a beautiful video, right? As I have a list, a series list, a playlist, a movie YouTube channel going into words of the day, right? Tying the words of the day, Miriam website. It doesn't to just be Miriam website. It could be other site where I get words of the day, right? And this is a beautiful one. You could tie it back to the scriptures, right? So it says what it means, right? What it means. It says Gordian knot refers to a complicated and difficult problem. And we want to highlight here the complicated and difficult problem, which is going to be a part one. The part two is diving into Esau Edom, and he finds, rulership and dominion on the earth as being a complicated and difficult problem. So his answer to it is to become God over the earth, right? But in this video, we're going to hit Esau Edom as being the complicated and difficult problem in the earth and how it's going to be rectified. Right? So Esau Edom is a complicated and difficult problem. Why? Because you run in the earth into madness. Get a precept to back that before we go ahead. You can get it from a second Esdras. Not second Esdras. Isaiah 24. And you could read from select verse 5. And I'll go back here with Daniel 7 and 25 afterwards.
Isaiah 24 and 5. Then the earth also is defiled and the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
Right, so the complicated and difficult problem is the rulership and governance of the earth right now. And why is the rulership and governance on the earth, being ruled out of course? As you go get that scripture in the book of Psalms, right? The world is out of course. Who is causing that? Esau and Edom. You get that Proverbs 25 and verse. It's a Proverbs 27, and the wicked bear rule.
The people mourn?
Yeah.
Because that way I don't understand too, the earth does flow in the vibration of the people that rule it. Like case in point, when Solomon was in charge, the earth was at its best. When Adam was in charge, the earth was at its best. When David was in charge, the earth was at its best. The plants and the plants of the earth was flourishing. The trees itself, everything was rejoicing.
Isaiah 14 backs up.
Exactly, but as you can see right now, Esau Edom in charge and nothing is rejoicing. They hardly go in any place and see what Yahushua is book of John, when Yahushua went to feed the multitudes, 5,000 men besides women and children sitting on lush green grass. You think in Esau kingdom that could happen?
No.
Happen.
Vegetation, right? The vegetation of the earth, right? The nature itself is a testament to the fact that Esau Edom is a Gordian knot. His rulership of the earth is a Gordian knot, right? He's ruling the earth out of course, right? Yeah, Proverbs 27 and 2. Yeah, Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, and the wicked is in power today in the earth. Right? Daniel the 4th chapter and the 17th verse, and Daniel the
7th chapter and 25.
That is the one I was going to. But Job 9 and 24 as well. Because what is the inherent problem with the earth, right? Or what has caused the earth to be run out of course? Because the righteous were once in rulership and dominion over the earth. But what has happened or caused the earth to be run out of course? We just identified it in Isaiah 24 and verse 5. Right?
I'll read verse 6 real quick before I continue.
Right.
The Isaiah 24 and verse 6. Therefore the curse of all the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
So you understand what? without the laws being being forwarded in the earth is then put in a low vibrational state, right?
A piece of that
Okay.
It's First Maccabees 3, I think it's from 15. Hold on,
How does it go?
treasure. No, it's First Maccabees. Yes, no, it's First Maccabees 3, not from 17, it's from 27. The First Maccabees 3 and 27. Now, when King Antiochus heard these things, he was full of indignation. Therefore, he sent and gathered together all the forces of his realm, even a very strong army. He opened also his treasure and gave his soldiers pay for a year, commanding them to be ready whensoever he should need them. Nevertheless, when he saw that the money of his treasures failed, and that the tributes in the country were small because of the dissension and plague which he had brought upon the land in taking away the laws which had been of old time.
And so the earth being ruled without the laws of Yahweh Shem Yoshai, they send the earth into madness. How we know that? Adam was an example of that. Right? Before Adam did sin, we didn't have to work to bring forth fruit upon the land. The earth as a body that heals itself. The earth heals itself and produces vegetation on its own. Even when, like we say, no in front of field there, no man in plant a seed there. No man not tilling the sun, no man not watering the sun, the vegetation is springing forth abundantly.
Yeah, I wish I say that to the Father, water the herb by the field and they bring forth and bud.
Can.
How much more you will do it for you?
Can. So if under Adam, the reason the earth was then turned out, of course, was due to him sinning. If the man of sin is in charge, what do you think going to take place? Because what the man of sin would do? Because Daniel 7 and 25.
I could ask some quick to say before you had that.
Can.
You have to understand. The earth was cursed 2 times for men transgressing. The earth was cursed because Adam fucked up. And then the earth was cursed because Cain fucked up.
Cain was cursed from the earth.
No, Cain was cursed from the earth. But seeing that Cain cursed from the earth, if he in charge, the earth cursed.
Exactly.
And we know spiritual, watching it through the spiritual lens, Esau is Cain.
Esau is the reincarnation of Cain, the seed and lineage of Cain within the earth. Right? So if the man has sin in rulership, the earth is under what vibration? Sin for vibration.
Exactly.
Right? That is why the Paul made the quote in Romans 8 chapter, which we're going to get after this. But Daniel 7 and 25 says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High. And he shall, so like about the noise in the background, and he shall speak great words against the Most High when he is in rulership. Daniel 7 and 20, or Daniel 7 chapter details right, the rulership of different kingdoms throughout the Lord's realm, throughout the Lord's earth, right? And when this man is in rulership, what would he do? And shall wear out the saints of the Most High and think to what change times and laws. So the natural order of things and the way in which the Lord deemed and wanted the earth to run, Esau Edom is pushing a completely different vibration. Right? So continuing on here, or to further back that, the Psalms out of course. Psalms 82 and 5. It says,
Where's my last course? Oh, last course.
I'll start at 1. Psalms 82 and 1. It says, the Psalm of Asaph, which Asaph, beautiful psalmist, he went into the wicked a lot. Detailing the wicked, detailing the rulership, detailing the way in which how they despise the Most High and go against the saints and the will of the Most High. Right? But look at what he's saying here. Asaph, a Psalm of Asaph, power standeth in the congregation of the mighty, he judgeth among the gods. Which is his proof that the Israelite nation is gods, right? How long will he judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked Selah? Defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the what? The hand of the wicked. When they go into that word hand, yeah, when you go into that word hand, Psalms 82 and 5, right? The word hand is synonymous with being in rulership, dominion, control, power over someone, right? So Psalms 82 and 4. Psalms 82 and 4, it says, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. And you go into that word hand, it's yad. It says hand of man, strength, power. So to have something in your hands, have something within your grasp, it means to have what? Dominion and power over it. That is what goes on, right? The wicked had dominion and power over the nation of Israel. This is what the psalmist Asaph is saying, and he's asking the Lord to deliver them out of the hand of the wicked, right? Continuing on here, it says, right? That's it, right? Power, right? Right, so that's it there, right? The needy, the poor and needy, which is the nation of Israel, right? They are under the hand of the wicked. They are under the power and dominion of the wicked in here today. Continuing, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness, which being in darkness is synonymous with what? Being outside the understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right?
You know, ultimately only the nation of Israel had the understanding of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. In Psalms 147 chapter and verse 19. He shewed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation, as for his judgments they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Can, right? Continuing on here, it says all the foundations of the earth are out of course. When it says the foundation, what is a foundation, right? A foundation is something you set to establish something upon.
Yeah, that's something to build upon.
Right. So if the foundation, what establishes the earth and has the earth governing in proper authority, right? The laws, statutes, and commandments, right? You take that out of the earth is run out of course. Right? You take that out of the earth is run out of course. The foundation is cracked, the foundation is severed. And not like they take the laws out of the earth, they're just not ruling the earth according to the laws. Right? So continuing here, it says, Yasad, right? It says to found, fix, establish, lay foundation, right? Right, so that's it, right? So the earth is being run out of course. That is the Gordian knot. Let's go into the definition and finish it off. Merriam-Webster, Gordian knot. It says what it means. Gordian knot refers to a complicated and difficult problem. It is often used in the phrase cut the Gordian knot, right? Which means to solve a difficult problem in a very direct way. So Yahushua is not coming. This is how we know, right? These people, are seeing these people arguing and making arguments for reparations. So blacks and blacks should get reparations, this and blacks should get reparations, that, etc., etc. But, or we mean to sit down and have a talk concerning the matter. No, there's not going to be any council. There's not going to, Yahushua is not coming in all his glory and splendor to have a seat, right, with these nations and discuss getting these people out of slavery and hope they agree. Right, and then if they don't agree, we launch a 7-year war. No. Yahushua is coming to deal with this Gordian not in a very direct manner. Right? Continuing, it says to solve a difficult problem in a very direct way by doing something forceful or extreme, and Yahushua coming with the most extreme force it has. The chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, chariots of heaven, and with authority and power from his father. Go ahead.
Revelation the 6th chapter, Revelation the 19th chapter, 2nd Ezra the 13th chapter. Yahushua ain't coming here no meek and no mild. Isaiah the 63rd chapter, Isaiah the 47th chapter will not meet thee as a man.
So Yahushua not coming to deal with this problem like a man. He's coming to deal with this problem as a God, and he's just coming to snap. Or as 2nd Ezra says, give commands from his mouth, and the commands is not going to be, hey, you stop the shit all they're doing, and no, it's kill he, save he, kill he,
burn he alive,
save he, burn this place down, burn that statue down, etc., etc.
See he, show ye there.
And in the
Make sure you need hottest part of the flame.
Exactly, and in the Hebrew, of course, right? So continuing on here, it says, the organization's change in leadership, the organization of the world, right? Change in leadership is being widely applauded as a step towards stability, coincidentally. I didn't even know this was the example. Look at the example again. The organization, which is the earth, and the way in which it is run, right? Change in leadership, which is change in leadership coming via Yahushua, is being widely applauded as a step towards stability. Yahushua is going to be the first step towards everlasting stability in the earth.
God, the scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and what the strength of thy salvation. You only get exactly. You only get wisdom from the Bible. So men don't read the Bible. They don't use the Bible the correct way. They use it for wickedness.
So they run this earth and they rule this earth outside of wisdom, outside of the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? They're wasting time. Right? But many are less than optimistic about the new director's ability to cut the Gordian nut at the center of the trouble, which we optimistic. We not less than, we very optimistic. We 100% sure when Yahushai comes, he's going to cut this Gordian nut right in the center. Yahushai nut, and they're going to explain and detail why it is said like this, right? Example, meanwhile, officials are having high-level conversations about the long-term effectiveness of Michigan's aging dam infrastructure and the growing need for effective flood mitigation measures. Whitman noted a Gordian knot of complexity around the state's dams, many of which are operated through murky public-private arrangements, right? It says, did you know, according to legend, when the peasant Gordius became king of Gordium, capital of the ancient district of Phrygia, in which is now modern Turkey, he fastened the yoke of his wagon to a beam with a very complex knot. Centuries later, when Alexander the Great arrived on the scene, he was told that he couldn't conquer and rule Asia unless he proved himself worthy by untying the knot, right? So this Gordian knot of a problem, the only way he could prove himself worthy to rule the kingdom is to put down or solve this complex problem, which Yahushua is going to prove that he's worthy to rule the earth, because he's going to put down and solve the complex problem of Esau and Edom. And he's not going to do it as Alexander didn't try and attempt to untie the knot. Trying to attempt to untie the knot would be, councils, this World Economic Forum meeting, another peace summit. No, it's not no peace summit, right? It's destruction Yahushua is coming to bring as Alexander brought up on the knot, right? It says, Alexander quickly solved his problem and gained a new kingdom by slicing the knot in half with his sword. Since then, the Gordian knot has been a term for a difficult problem, and the phrase cut the Gordian knot has been a way to describe a direct and forceful solution to an apparently insurmountable difficulty.
And the Lord said he can cut off the sons and the nephews of Esau, the wicked seed shall not be known.
Exactly. So to go through this problem is very complex and it's a complex and complicated problem for us as men, because we won't be able to defeat Esau and Edom. Even when we get spiritual power, we're still going to need Yahushua to come. So this Gordian knot of a problem of Esau Edom can only be solved very directly and very forcefully, right? As we are about to prove, he is a problem. Or we proved already, but one more precept to back it. He is a problem. Romans 8 and 20. Okay. Romans 8 and 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature, which is the creature? The creature is something which stems from creation. So creation is a creature, right? So the earth is a creature. Everything that dwells within the earth is a creature, right? For the creature, for the earnest expectation of the creature, what is an earnest expectation? Something you expect to happen and you diligently hearkening and hoping to happen, right? Waited for the manifestation of the sons of power. Why? The sons of power then claiming the throne in the earth is going to solve all of the earth's problems. That is what the creature is waiting for all of the problems within the earth to be solved, right? Continuing on here. But that is it, right? Because I'm jumping down to verse 21, it says, because the creature itself also shall be what? Delivered from the bondage of corruption, be bound to corruption via this rule Esau Edom has within the earth. He's a base man, right? Be bound subject to corruption. The earth subject to corruption, and it's going to be glad to be removed from underneath that corruption.
Peace of God.
Just want to finish it. Into the glorious liberty of the children of power, right?
Isaiah just 2 and 11, we close with this. Verse 38. Yea, though I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, and not thou that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved the liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore thy wrongful dealings is come unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also had looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, as abominations are fulfilled. And thou therefore appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed, and may return being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope of the judgment and mercy of him that made her.
Right, so Yahushua is going to be the cure to this Gordian knot of our Esau Edom rulership problem. Right, so Lord willing, this video is edifying to the elect. In closing, we like to sing Kal Halal Yamla Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great men, so ensure you do well. As always, we like to sing Shalom to the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
This is a couple of brothers say from here is Yahushai, I'm the brother.
Hananiah.
And I'm the brother Isaiah saying Shalom. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.